Hello, how are you? Many people are looking to maintain kidney health, since after all, the kidneys are very important organs for filtering our blood, and they want more ideas for foods that can benefit the kidneys. Today, I've put together a list of 5 powerful foods for you, and I'm going to tell you which one on this list is the most interesting for your kidney health. You're going to love this video. Stick around until the end. You won't want to miss it. Before we start, I want to ask you if you're looking to prevent any kidney problems, if you've been trying to treat something, if you've already been diagnosed with a kidney issue, or if someone in your family has. Why does this concern you? I'd love to see your comment. Remember to like the video. It really helps me out here on the channel, and share it with anyone who would enjoy it or needs it. Let's work together to expand this chain of kindness. That's what I want here with the channel. So let's get started with our list. Before anything else, it's important for us to talk a little about why the kidney is so important and why it wears out. Why, after all, can diet have such a significant effect? The kidneys are organs that work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, day and night, filtering all the blood in our body over and over again throughout the day. They regulate the fluids present in our body, adjust minerals, and help keep our blood pressure stable. The problem is that this work becomes much harder when certain harmful factors occur and are repeated daily. One of the factors that greatly harms the kidneys is high blood pressure. This is a very important point for us to discuss. When blood pressure rises, the tiny filters that we have in our kidneys receive the blood with much more force than they should. And over time, this constant pressure damages these structures, which are so delicate. Even if the person doesn't feel anything at first, this is very silent. Another important factor that harms the kidney is excess salt. Too much salt makes the body retain more fluid, increases blood pressure, and forces the kidney to work harder to eliminate this excess. It's not just a one-time effort. People who consume salt every day on a regular basis put a daily overload on their kidneys, and this also ends up being silent. Another thing that harms the kidneys is dehydration, right? This puts a lot of strain on kidney health. When there's not enough water, the blood ends up becoming more concentrated, toxins accumulate more, and the kidney has to filter with much less liquid volume. So this increases the wear and tear on the kidney filters and even promotes the formation of kidney stones. In addition, there's low-grade chronic inflammation. We know it's a silent inflammation that doesn't hurt, doesn't turn red, but it's present for years, and this can damage blood vessels, worsen circulation, and directly affect kidney function. Finally, and just as important, there's also the issue of oxidative stress, which happens when there's an excess of free radicals in our body. This is common in people who consume a lot of ultra-processed foods, a lot of sugar, and few vegetables, legumes, greens, natural foods. So, these free radicals accelerate the aging of the body as a whole, including the tissue of the kidneys. So, when this combination of factors persists for a certain period of time, even if you don't have a formal diagnosis of kidney disease, the kidney can gradually start to lose its efficiency. Filtration becomes less precise, the balance of fluids and minerals becomes more difficult, and then your test results may start to change. That's why protecting your kidneys isn't just about finding a miracle food, right? But changing your diet, changing your lifestyle, and trying to add more of these good foods, protective ones, to help lighten the load that the kidney might have to bear because of those unhealthy habits and diets we have in our daily lives. So let's start talking about the foods. The first food on our list is one of the most studied foods when we talk about health, kidney health, heart health, and of the circulatory system because they are very interconnected. It's garlic. Garlic has many sulfur compounds, we know that, and especially allicin. These compounds are formed when garlic is crushed or chopped at least 15 minutes before being consumed. This way, the conversion of alliin into allicin occurs, which is the actual bioactive compound behind these beneficial effects of garlic. And one of the important effects of garlic is to improve the function of blood vessels. It helps the vessels to become more relaxed, less rigid. It can help with blood flow and in controlling blood pressure. And with the blood flowing more smoothly, the pressure that reaches the small filters in the kidney is lower. This spares the kidneys a bit since they are very sensitive to increased blood pressure. So this constant high blood pressure could force these renal filters and accelerate their wear over the years. Besides that, we also know that garlic has a very important anti-inflammatory action. And this helps reduce that silent, chronic, low-grade inflammation that damages the blood vessels and worsens circulation. Even when the person doesn't feel any pain, when there are no specific symptoms, less inflammation means healthier blood vessels, better blood supply to the kidneys, and a lower risk of progressive damage. Another important point is what I already mentioned to you, but it's still worth emphasizing the help that garlic can provide in controlling blood pressure. Of course, obviously, it will never replace medication. The point of this video isn't that. But I wanted to tell you that it can help you keep your blood pressure more stable, especially when it's part of an overall balanced diet, proper water intake, physical exercise, weight control, and the use of medication. If you already take medication for this, never stop taking it on your own. Stable blood pressure means less strain on the kidneys, so the benefits of garlic are actually very interesting. And it's a food we can obviously use in our daily lives. It's a big part of our diet, so making good use of garlic will always help. So crushed or minced garlic to saute beans, rice, vegetables, meat, or fish, whatever you use. It doesn't have to be raw garlic in excess. Remember, if you want, you can also drink garlic water or garlic tea. I have videos here on the channel teaching how to prepare them, and I'll leave the links down below in the description for you. The second food on our list is beans, but also all the legumes that are in the same family as beans. Lentils, chickpeas, peas, they are a staple of our diet, right? They are part of the foundation of many people's diets, especially beans, which many people use a lot, together with rice. And when we talk about healthy kidneys, we have to remember that these are foods that can greatly benefit our kidney health because they contain fiber, potassium, magnesium. Each one of them, in its own way, contributes to kidney health in a complementary manner. Since they are quite rich in potassium, which is an essential mineral for the body's fluid balance, there's the sodium-potassium pump, which helps regulate the amount of sodium in our body. So when we have an excess of sodium, this leads to fluid retention, increased blood pressure, and overloading of the kidneys. And potassium, on the other hand, eliminates excess sodium, balances body fluids, and keeps blood pressure more stable. So when the diet is low in potassium, sodium kind of goes unchecked, becomes unregulated, and makes the kidneys work harder to correct this balance. That's why a diet richer in potassium naturally, which comes from foods like beans, for example, directly protect the kidneys, reducing one of the biggest wear factors I've already mentioned to you, which is high blood pressure. Besides that, beans are also rich in magnesium, which we sometimes don't think about. And magnesium is a mineral that's less often remembered, but it's also very important for the health of blood vessels. It helps to reduce chronic inflammation, relaxes the blood vessels, improves circulation, and protects the endothelium, which is the lining of the vessels. So, the kidneys depend on efficient circulation to filter the blood, and when the vessels are inflamed or too stiff, blood flow gets worse and blood pressure gets worse too. And when we have low magnesium levels, there is already a connection with a higher risk of high blood pressure, worse kidney function over time, and greater vascular wear and tear of the blood vessels. On top of all that, beans are quite rich in fiber, and fiber improves the functioning of the intestine, they decrease the production and absorption of toxins, and they reduce what we call uremic toxins. So, with fewer toxins circulating, the kidney works with less effort. So, ideally, we should consume these legumes because they have these three nutrients in a balanced way, right? They have magnesium, they have potassium, they have fiber, and it's a natural food. It's worth making a note here that for people with advanced kidney disease, potassium intake may need to be adjusted individually. So what I'm talking about here are guidelines for healthy people who want to protect their kidneys. Of course, if you don't have any kidney problems, obviously beans won't overburden your kidneys, won't cause harm or anything like that. On the contrary, it helps to protect. Now, if you already have some kidney problem and are being monitored by a nutritionist or doctor in your city, obviously always follow the guidance of the professionals who know you personally. And remember that what I say here is merely informative. An important detail I forgot to mention to you about eating beans is, of course, to avoid preparing beans with bacon, sausage with a lot of cured, processed, smoked pork, which has a lot of sodium, a lot of bad fat. Always remember to keep your beans healthy, right? Basically sauteed with garlic, onion, and olive oil. There's a video here on the channel about how to consume and prepare beans in an optimized way for our health. I'll leave it down below in the description for you. Another extremely important element for our kidney health is olive oil. We know that olive oil is very rich in polyphenols, which are natural antioxidant compounds. And these polyphenols help reduce inflammation in the blood vessels, protect the inner wall of the arteries, the endothelium of the arteries, improve vascular elasticity, and also decrease oxidative stress. So, with more flexible and less inflamed blood vessels, the blood circulates more smoothly and efficiently, obviously, right? This is very important. The pressure in the vessels matters a lot for reaching the kidneys, as I've already explained to you before. So, when we reduce inflammation and improve the function of the blood vessels, we preserve this renal microcirculation, which is really interesting. So, we can use olive oil to saute vegetables, legumes, beans, like I mentioned to you. You can add it on top of salads, overcooked fish, or overcooked chicken. Ideally, you just shouldn't overdo it with the olive oil, even though it's healthy. Obviously, it's a very healthy fat for the heart, for the arteries, for us. But if you consume it in excess, it can contribute to weight gain. And we know that excess body weight can be bad for circulation and for the kidneys, so everything in life with moderation. I wanted to choose a fruit to add to our list here. And when we think about healthy kidney function, the fruit that stands out the most is the apple, because it has a combination of quite interesting factors. The apple can help reduce oxidative stress because of the polyphenols it contains as well. We know that an excess of free radicals can accelerate the aging of kidney tissues, damage the microscopic vessels in the kidneys, and it can worsen filtration efficiency. Since apples are rich in polyphenols, especially quercetin, they can help neutralize these free radicals, so that's already a very interesting point in their favor. There's also the issue of acid-base balance, which is rarely discussed, but it's essential that we talk about it, because as the years go by, we end up losing a bit of our ability to neutralize the acids produced by our own metabolism and by our diet. And diets that are high in excessive amounts of meat, ultra-processed foods, and low in vegetables can increase the acid load in our bodies. And the kidney ends up having to compensate for this. The apple, even though it's slightly tart, actually has an alkalizing effect after digestion. So it can help reduce this acid load on the kidneys, lessening the renal effort needed to maintain blood pH, and it can protect kidney function in the long term. Besides that, it's also rich in potassium, which, as I've already mentioned, is super important for kidney health. And it also contains a lot of fiber, especially in the apple peel. Pectin is a soluble fiber found in the peel, so we shouldn't peel the apple if we want to get these benefits from it. And it's also a great option for us to add to our daily routine. You can just eat them as is. Apples are super affordable, versatile, and easy to take on the go, don't you think? We can take it with us everywhere. And you know what they say? An apple a day keeps the doctor away, right? There's a reason for that saying. It's a complete fruit. It's affordable and easy to add to your daily routine, especially when you're looking out for your kidney health. Of course, I can't finish this list without mentioning water, right? It may seem simple to talk about water, but when it comes to kidneys, it's really the central point of everything. The kidneys basically exist to filter the blood with water, so without enough water, the system can become overloaded. Water acts as a means of transport and dilution, allowing minerals to circulate, so they can be balanced and eliminated in the right proportion and amount. There's the dilution of sodium, the excretion of waste, and the reduction of the risk of kidney stones when we manage to stay well hydrated. There's less overload on the glomerular filtration of the kidneys. So it's very important to consume water regularly, daily, as part of our diet. Ideally, you should drink water throughout the day rather than drinking it all at once. Spreading your intake out is key. Try not to cram it all into 1 or 2 sittings. And most importantly, avoid drinking too much right before bed so you don't have to wake up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom. Paying attention to the color of your urine is essential because it already shows your body's hydration level. Of course, it doesn't have to be absolutely transparent, but ideally it should be very light in color. I have a video here talking about urine color. If you want more tips on this, it's super important. And it's also interesting for us to adjust the amount according to our routine and our climate. If you go to the gym, if you sweat a lot, if you live in a very hot place with low humidity, or if you don't exhale much, this can also affect your hydration. So it's always important to assess this. And just to remind you once again, the recommendation for water consumption is always for people with preserved kidney function, okay? Remember that this video is for you to follow if you are a healthy person, to follow the guidelines, but for any personalized advice, talk to a healthcare professional who follows you in your city. Let me know, which of these foods have you already been eating and which ones are you going to focus on more in your daily routine? I'd love to see your comment. Remember to like the video, that's super important to me, and share it with those who need it. Let's expand this chain of kindness together. That's what I want here with the channel. See you next time. Bye.